Yeah, I'm just marking out with a knife, and then I'm going to cut the board. The board is 170mm wide, 20mm thick, and is 4 foot long. Yeah, I'm just taking the corner off so I can use a plane and the plane won't split the fibres off the end. I'm just removing a little bit more material just to make sure the edge joint is nice and tight. I take the other board and make sure of this. Yeah, I put a chamfer on the inside. You don't have to do this, this is optional, but I thought it would be a cool idea and help with the design. I roughly measure up for the 2 buttons that'll be underneath, and then I'm going to cut this to length, then I'm going to cut them to thickness. I mark these out exactly half the board, which is 85mm. I then clean these up and round it over the corner a little. Yeah, I'm marking out for a bevel, just something that was pleasing to me. You don't have to do this, you could round it off or even leave it square if you wanted to. Save these offcuts, will come in useful for wedges later. Now I'm cleaning these bevels up with a plane. Now I just use a file to round the edges over. Again, you don't have to do this, this was just my preference. Yeah, I'm just using the first one I've done as a template. I clamped the 2 boards together and I marked out and started drilling the pilot hole for the nails. I put 8 holes in one board, so that was a total of 16 for both boards and both sides. I countersunk the holes because I didn't want the rose head nails protruding too much. I cleaned up the boards before I put the nails in. I lined the batten up on the underneath. I marked a pencil line which was 160mm from the edge of the boards. This was a bit tricky, but I got it in the end. I applied some weight, then I added 2 nails. This was just to keep the batten in place so I could then drill the other pilot holes. removed the first 2 nails, then I continued to drill the rest of the pilot holes and add the nails. I turned the board over, then I clenched the nails. I marked the corners so I could round them over. I began to round them over with my chisel, removing the majority of the waste. I then finished up with a Shinto rasp and then a fine file. I added a chamfer on the edge of all the sides. Again, this is optional, just something I wanted to do. I chamfered the corners with my chisel. You could do this with a spoke shave, but the chisel was just handy, so I used it. Yeah, I'm just marking out for the round tenons. So I marked exactly centre of the board, which is 85mm each side. Here I added a board just so that everything's level with the batten, and I'm drawing the sight lines, which I chose 32 degrees. You could change these, it's totally up to yourself, but 32 degrees is good for me, so I'm sticking with that. Yeah, I start drilling with an 1.25" drill bit, and the bevel is set to 15 degrees. With the drill bit being so big, it can be a bit of a challenge. So as I'm drilling, I'm still checking to see that I've got me 15 degrees, and I just keep on doing this all the way through. I'm cutting the legs here, and these were roughly 50mm square, and I think the length was roughly 21 inches. I measured down about 70mm and I squared a line all the way around, and I also added a second line which was an inch below that and squared that round too. I drew across corner to corner to find the centre, then I used my compass to draw a circle which matched the drill bit, and this is going to be for my tenon. I'm just using a gauge here just to match the circle so I get me cut lines for my saw. I cut all the cheeks on 4 sides, and then I cut all the shoulders. After the cheeks are cut, I start to remove all the corners with my saw. I start paring down with a chisel, and I finish the job off with a Shinto rasp and then some sandpaper. Here I'm cutting a curve to accept the wedge. I put some bevels just below the tenon joint so that this does not stop the tenon fitting. I'm just marking out the centre again for the bottom of the leg. Then I use a compass. I kept the compass the same at 32mm, and this is going to be where my legs taper down to. I'm just using the axe to remove as much material as I can, just to save myself some work with a plane. I started planing down, and I kept on checking to see how close I was to the circle which I made with my compass. Once I was down, I took all the arrows off the corners with some sandpaper. I'm just making some wedges here. These were from the offcuts from the patterns from earlier. I've got my little apprentice with us here, making sure I do everything right. So I'm just applying the glue, and then I'm going to add the legs and wedge everything up. I'm just adding the wedges here. Add glue to one side of the wedges only. Then I remove the stubs. I'm just cleaning the top of the tenon. I wedge two of the legs and I get the bench level. I clamp it, then I start sawing, but I don't go all the way through the legs. I now have all the curve marks and I remove the rest of the legs. Yeah, I'm adding a chamfer to the bottom of the legs. This is to stop any splits in the future when the bench gets moved around. If you like what you've seen, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.